Hello there, welcome back to another video on Ark Survival Ascended, and in this video I want to take a look back at this year 2023 and take a look at all of the builds that I made this year for Ark Survival Ascended. Even though it's only been 2 months, there's a lot of cool builds here, and I just wanted to take a look back because maybe if you've missed something, but also just as a little reminder of where we started and where we are right now, and we're going into the new year with fresh energy and hopefully some more cool builds. I also just wanted to say thank you so much for the support so far. It's been crazy. I basically just started my live stream for Ark one day because I thought, I haven't done anything in a while and this looks like fun to jump back into. And then of course with all the building, it really took off for my channel. So thank you so much for the support over the past couple of 2 months and weeks. It's been great, and hopefully we'll have many more cool adventures together in this new year as well. And we're starting off with maybe the best build of them all, my little starter shack that I started this whole game with. I mean, it's not too bad. At least it's not just like a thatch hut on a beach. It's also where I first started out with painting some stuff, so I mean, it's all right. Like, it's a starter shack, and for a starter shack, I think it's a pretty all right design. I was just basically playing around a little bit with the new building mechanics, but the place, this spot, is pretty amazing. Like, I probably wouldn't be mad if I would actually build something cool in this place. Then it's time to move on to my second base, and where I really started building and where everything started going crazy for the channel as well. Thank you very much for that. And that is of course with this little starter home I made right here in the ruins. It's a little bit decked out for the Winter Wonderland event right now, but yeah, this is the little starter home, the first one that I properly built and spent some time actually designing and improving and thinking about, and then actually made my first tutorial about as well. I still think it's a very nice and cozy house. I use this still quite a lot because I'm just lazy to move my shit, and it's just a fun build. But there's so much more, of course, that we build here to rebuild these ruins. We got like this greenhouse in one of these ruins that fits very well. Still quite happy with that. Of course, I built this giant stables that I mean, definitely looks very cool. Also functions in a wall to kind of make this area a lot safer for me. And yeah, that was the second tutorial I think I did, which very nice build as well. And then of course there were many more ruins to rebuild here, which we did. We also of course built some walls to be safe. We got a lot of plants here to keep out all the dangerous things living around here. I think we did a let's build on stream for some of these buildings, trying to fit them all in to these ruins, having them connected, and some pretty nice buildings here actually. If we can get through, there we go. Yeah, just trying to rebuild these structures. It's one of my favorite things to do in Ark, just finding these cool looking ruins and trying to rebuild something into it and breathing life into these ruins. And I think it just looks really cool. Of course, got another wall right there. We got all these little ruin builds up there, and then we got the big workshop, another one of the tutorials that is right here in the middle, in the center, kind of bringing everything together really. And what was supposed to be my hub for crafting everything, but then I started moving on to different builds, and I haven't really used it that much, but there's definitely a lot of space here. There's a lot of storage, so if I wasn't building so much and moving from base to base, this is a great place. I still spend quite some time here actually, but yeah, I just fly a lot across the map, I guess. But this is definitely a cool place. Another one of the tutorials actually. I did a lot of tutorials for this place, but yeah, I just love the way it fits in with these ruins. Yeah, this was actually a very fun project to do, rebuilding all these ruins, and actually one of the reasons why we'll see another rebuilding of ruins in this very list. It is time to take to the seas and go to my ocean base. And yeah, I really also enjoyed working on this one because after doing all of the ruins builds, I was really looking for something quite different, a different style, which is why I wanted to get into these A-frame builds, and I designed quite a couple of different ones of them. This is my little stables, glitching out, of course, because why wouldn't it? And yeah, I did a lot of tutorials on these because you also really liked these A-frame designs. We got one of the first tutorials right over there. Beautiful spot, actually. Like, I basically built these buildings just for the tutorials, but this would be a great place to live in. Like, if this was going to be our main base and we would live here with some of the tribe members, everyone could have like their own home, and basically it feels like a holiday vacation home. Like, why is there a random roof there? Well, that shouldn't be there, but yeah, this is quite a big house, and we got a nice little walkway. I love this area, actually. Like, restarting now, if I wouldn't build in a ruin as a main base, I probably would be here, because this is great. And then we got the second variation, also a tutorial for this A-frame. Again, just looking very nice. And yeah, this entire area is a great spot. I knew of this spot, like, because I think it was also quite a nice spot on the island, like with these waterfalls. And that's why I had this spot in mind. But then when it got time for the ocean base, I was like, yeah, maybe I should check that out, because it's very close to the ocean, of course. And turns out it is actually a very good spot for the ocean, because you have a little bit of these higher areas in the water where you can more easily build on, and then you've got a very deep area, so it's easy to close off and still be able to bring in all the bigger dinos as well. So yeah, you can see one of the A-frame designs here. This was actually my first time trying this design before I made the tutorial out of it, and then I rebuilt it up there. Yeah, the place just looks very nice, and of course the crown jewel here, besides being enough space for all of my water dinos, I took away a lot of the sharks, the megs. They are all in cryopods now, because that's finally an option, and that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, we still have the mosasaurs here. Very cool, very big, but there's plenty of space here to make sure they can be here safely. And then we got the Dino Docks here, another addition that I really enjoyed, and you seem to enjoy as well. So I made a tutorial for it too. You got the megs that I do use here, and my Sako should be here somewhere, but maybe like a bird flew in and he got mad again. And then this is usually where I would do all the breeding for the megs, because it's quite a nice little area and easily accessible by me. Which is of course very nice. I don't know why you parked out here. Usually, I think because that's where the feeding trough is. Usually I just park birds in here, but I didn't have the feeding trough in there, I guess. So yeah, this is the main base, of course, where I finally also made a tutorial for it just before the end of the year, because a lot of you kept asking for it, and even though it's a very big build, I spent some hours trying to get the tutorial together for you. But yeah, I'm really happy with the design. I kind of usually I really like the more medieval builds, but for some reason these A-frames, which look definitely a lot more modern, I really enjoyed making these, and I'm probably gonna try to make some more variations, maybe in different places, because this of course all very ocean based related, but maybe you can make some nice designs in different places as well. But yeah, this is just a really good place, and a very big base as well, which I'm only really using when I want to go into the water, into the ocean on this side. So yeah, this would probably be a great main base. I just haven't been using it as such, but yeah, there's definitely there's so much here, and I really love the design. I loved seeing all the reactions of you guys on this build. Like, the reactions to this were insane, and I really enjoyed all my time and work on this. And hopefully, well, I think at least judging by the comments, you did as well, and you can actually build most of this, if not all of this, yourself as well now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And of course, I can't forget about my ongoing project of Castle Black inspired build. It's really a combination of a Castle Black inspired build and just a cool Viking style. Actually, for this main build, this barracks that I built here, I also made a separate tutorial about it, just as the Viking longhouse. But yeah, I'm actually really excited for this build, and I will be continuing it. It's a little bit slow because I only want to build on this when I'm live streaming, because I think that's a nice live streaming series. So probably in the new year, we'll try to, in the coming like 2-3 months that we still have before, of course, Scorched Earth is set to release, we'll try to finish this castle. To be fair, we are quite a nice way along. We got the wall design down. We just need to start building it and building some of the other structures to make this come together. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very nice place in the end. And yeah, especially this Viking longhouse turned out really well for such an unplanned build. And of course, this is decorated very much with the Castle Black vibe in mind, because like, why the hell would you place so many tables and chairs and benches, and like, it doesn't make any sense for a base. But if you decorate it as a base, this definitely would serve as a base, because there's so much space in this. And yeah, there's a lot you could do with it. So if you built this from the tutorial, please let me know what you did with it, because you probably can use it to much better ends than just basically as a separate building project. But yeah, definitely one of the cooler builds, and I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like once I'm actually done with the entire place, because there's still a little way to go here. Then it's time to go to a magical place, Hagrid's little hut on the edge of the Redwood Forest. I really had a fun time trying to design this thing, and yeah, it just has a lot of cozy vibes. You could definitely use this as a starter home. I basically built this to make a tutorial, just to have something interesting designed. I especially like it because it has like more circular shapes than you would normally use for a building, but it has pretty much everything you would need to get a starter base going, like all the crafting stuff, some storage stuff, a bed and everything. Yeah, and it's just nice and cozy. That's what I really like. And of course, you can't build Hagrid's hut without a little garden. Really, the turkey trials pumpkin feeding troughs came in clutch for this, because that really finished up the design in a nice way. And of course, I've got a little patch out here for some plants and everything, because Hagrid's got to have his little garden around. But yeah, I really love this. It's a quite simple house, it's a quite simple design, but I just really love the vibe and the looks of this place. Of course, I can't forget about my cozy log cabin out here in the snow area. Also decked out for Christmas with the Winter Wonderland stuff, but of course it's also very usable every other day of the year if you're not using the Christmas decorations. And I really love this little cozy little hut. It's probably also good as a starter home, maybe not in this exact biome, but yeah, the vibes are really nice. I really enjoyed building this for the tutorial as well. Yeah, it's just got everything you need. You got a little forge, you've got your smithy table now hidden behind the Christmas tree, you've got the cozy little fireplace. There's no fire though. And yeah, basically all the other necessities. We've got the mortal pestle, bed, storage, more storage up there, more storage up here. It's quite cozy, it's quite small on the inside, but I do think it offers basically whatever you need to get started. So I might actually use this as a starter home at some point, because I think it would work very, very well. And it's time for another cozy build here out in this nice little field, and that is my Viking house. Also a great starter house. I especially like the way the painted thatch roof really blends it perfectly with the grass around. Really love that. And of course, the pen that you can make as big or as small as you want to fit in some dinos to relative safely. And again, it's just a nice little cozy build where you basically have everything you need on the inside. Some storage, some crafting stuff, a nice cozy little hub where you can join your friends for some drinks over the fire. And of course your beds, and you could add more storage here. Upstairs probably can be decorated a little better than I did. Nice little build that you can definitely use, probably especially well as a starter base. Oh my god. This tour got very exciting all of a sudden. But yeah, definitely another build that you can very easily use as probably more of a starter base, and then maybe start adding more stuff around, or you know, you move on to a different location. But I do really like the way it looks, and yeah, I might actually do some more designs in this style at some point. And then it's time for the Mountain Ruins, one of my more recent projects, and definitely still a work in progress because there's much more to do here. But the first buildings are of course up, and I do really like the style that I've gone for here. I love the painted rocks, like the parchment rocks that my tribe mates used as well, my friends. And yeah, I just really like these bigger ruins too. I just like building ruins, rebuilding ruins, and this is a little bit bigger than the ones that I did before. So yeah, there's just so much here, and now we're actually using this as a base as well, which is even better in my opinion, because now I can actually see my builds come to life, being used by my friends, and that feels a lot better than designing something cool and then basically not really using it or barely using it ever. So there's a little bit of Christmas decorations going on here still, but yeah, there's a lot to this build. Like, there's a lot of hidden spaces to explore, and there's so much room, probably more than we're ever gonna need. But yeah, it's at least very functional, and actually in use, which is of course also great, because like it's fun to build a lot, but if it's not being used, sometimes it can feel a little bit pointless. And at least this one definitely not pointless, because it is being used, and it's quite a big build of course, but I do really enjoy the design. And yeah, I'm still working of course on it. There's much more that I will be adding to this build over the next weeks, before we weeks and months probably, before we are done with the island. And yeah, it's just it's a very nice place to rebuild. Very cool place, definitely cool for a base. We got the main building here that is completely done. Then we have a little greenhouse over here that I just recently added. We got this platform for the industrial forge, which is easily accessible by birds, which was the main demand for this. And it's also just a nice way to fit in that whole platform that you can't really access otherwise. And then there's so much more to do still, because there's another ruin here that I need to rebuild. There's this big box that was the temporary base that still needs to be rebuilt at some point. And you can see a little work in progress up there. That's one of the next videos that I'm working on, so I'm not going to show too much. But yeah, there's definitely something coming on top of the mountain as well. So yeah, there's already a very cool build here, one of my favorites of this year, but there's definitely much more to come as well. And lastly, one of the more recent projects, and really more a work in progress, because I haven't done any of the detailing yet. Probably gonna paint the roofs and stuff, and there's no decoration. It's just an empty shell basically, but it is the start of a very nice looking tree house that I'll be hoping to finish up soon, so I can make a build tutorial about this place as well, because well, the design is definitely quite an interesting one, with all the layers, with all the different buildings sticking out from this. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, but hopefully it will be done soon. And there we have it, my best builds of 2023 in Ark Survival Ascended. I really enjoyed making all of these, and I'm really looking forward to see what other builds we can still come up with, because there's a lot more that we can probably do and build, and especially as soon as the new maps are going to be released. It's going to be very exciting, and I hope you'll join me on that journey as well. Thank you so much for all your supports, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.